Yeah, the Jack Herrera Project was a project that I had done, and really the tracks, I produced every track on there, I wrote every song, and the thing is, the tracks that I did I just did them. I didn't have necessarily the idea this is gonna be the new Jon B album, you know? What happened was I went on tour and I brought my background singers with me, and we had this chemistry on the road where we were writing songs on the back of the bus, and every state we would go to, we'd have another record done, you know? So it was just like, pretty soon we had like 5, 6 records done. And I'm going, you know what? This feels like an album, man, like a special, like a side project. And they were just like, really? And I was like, yeah, man, let's do this, you know? Let's film some videos and do like a super group kind of thing, you know? Because they're all amazing writers and singers as well. So we did it, but we weren't really thinking practically in terms of like, how is this gonna affect my solo career? Is the label gonna get this? What, you know? And I was really doing well at the time. I was actually selling double platinum albums and platinum albums. So, you know, at that point, it was like the label was looking at me like, what are you doing? You trying to stop this shit from sailing or what? Like, cause the Jack Herrera's, that we haven't even set sail yet. You know, you got the Jon B boat out on the ocean. What's going on? Are we riding the sailing the seas, or are we going to go to port again and restructure this thing? So, yeah, man, it was a little bit of a confusion thing for the label. Never really got that project, but that to me, production-wise, and my writing and everything that I did, playing the drums, playing the Rhodes, all the arranging, it's really one of my favorite projects I've ever done. It's actually available, but it's never been officially released. And the reason why for that is because very short after the project was completed to what I thought was a complete album, which we named Retro Futuristo. I produced every song on there except for one song was produced with Bob Powers, who mixed all the Tribe Called Quest stuff. And also another song was produced by Ali Shaheed Muhammad from Tribe Called Quest. So we had will.i.am from the Black Eyed Peas on that feature on that song. And it just was one of those things where the 2 other members of the group, is 3 of us in the band as the main singers. The 2 other guys wanted to start expanding and going beyond my production and going beyond like the sort of like the small circle that we had. They really wanted to work with like Rafa Sadiq, Vidal and Dre, like all these different producers. Well, not all these different producers, but those 2 particular producers, they maybe cut like 2 or 3 records on their own without me. And so that kind of like changed it to like a duo type of situation where I was sort of thrown back into the solo seat, and that's what was safe for me, as well as just wasn't trying to piss my label off at that point. You know, I was really trying to mediate the situation, kind of do both, and it just didn't last very long. And so what the whole thing that comes down to is that anytime you put 2, 3 people together in a group, everybody's got to be equally, yoked. Everybody's got to be equally like thinking the same way. And if you're not, then it tends to just dissolve and be something that was dope. And that's sort of what happened with these guys. I got much love for what we did and for the product because it's an amazing record. You know what I think with the Jack Herrera situation, I was kind of like shying away from fame and really showing that I had my true roots were in music, that I was a producer and a writer, and that I didn't have to necessarily be the focal point of the music, that the focal point could actually be 3 individuals. And it sounded nice to me to have the vocal tone change up. Like you had this real thin quality, and then you had a thicker quality, and then you had this other medium kind of quality. So I like that. I like the different tonalities involved with our voices and how we all blended together with harmonies and stuff like that. So that was my way of kind of showing the label, look, there's a million ways to flip this. Jamiroquai, is a good example of an artist who was a band who kind of made that music and made it work. A lot of people don't know Jamiroquai, the person, JK is what his name is, and Jamiroquai is actually, yes, it is a dude, but it's actually a band too. It's like the Jamiroquai band. It's like, you see them live, man. You see where we got the inspiration to kind of do stuff like Jack Herrera, for sure. Gotta give it up to Jamiroquai, for sure. But at the same time, I got more of where that came from. So look out for this new music.
So he goes, man, ain't no copies coming out of here. So that's how fast I turned and looked at him. Like, who is he talking to? Because we in my session.
Being able to make music at home and not even really going to the studio. So what wound up happening, I told everybody, fuck y'all, I quit. But I was at home writing music on my laptop every night, every day.
They're trying to merge hip hop and R&B together and not keep them as separate entities. So we gotta watch out for that, because I don't want us to fade out like, you know, like something like disco.
A race conversation is not a problem of talking about white, black. It's a problem of still talking about race, where race is a fake concept that doesn't exist.